we're going to jump in. So here's how these calls usually work. Obviously, it's a Q&A, right? We want to allow time for, all you guys that have questions maybe about some of the practice plans or what to expect on opening day, all those things. You guys are coming with your own questions. That's great. We're going to save the questions for the second half of the call. That's why we do 6 to 7. So right around the middle, we'll stop what we have presenting, and then we'll open up the floor for Q&A. You're more than welcome to type those questions throughout if they come up as I'm talking about a couple of things I just want to touch on before we jump to that. You can type those in the chat. Nick will be moderating those, and he'll make sure we get to all the questions that you guys have. But I want to make sure I try to tackle some of your questions that you might have ahead of time in case you haven't had a chance to look at some of the resources we have, and what to expect on opening day, right? So quick, I already touched on the quick introduction. We're in both Loudoun and Fairfax County. We've been around as an organization in Fairfax for 10 years now. You might have just only heard about us, and this is your first experience with I-9. I hope it's a great one, and we strive to make it the best we can. But we've been around for 10 years offering, outstanding programs in the central and northern Fairfax area, and only continuing to grow our venues every season. We've been in the Loudoun area for 5 years. And I say we've been in Loudoun for 5 years because that was when we took over that territory. It was previously owned before then. So maybe some of you have been with Loudoun I-9 for, 7 years. But we've been there for 5. So for the last 5 years, we've been operating in both territories. And we believe we're doing a great job. And the numbers seem to speak that way as well, as we've had a ton of growth. All of our sports continue to grow year in and year out. While we do have some areas that will plateau, right? Flag football sometimes in some areas, that seems to be a sport that isn't exactly seeing a ton of growth, and that's nationwide. And then we have other areas where, at Liberty Elementary, I'll throw that venue out, for example, our baseball program has quadrupled there. We're going to have close to 100 kids playing T-ball and coach pitch this season alone at Liberty Elementary School. We're super pumped about that. We're going to have like 4 hours straight of just T-ball and coach pitch. So we're super excited about that. This is going to be our largest season ever. And I say that in the combination of Loudoun and Central Fairfax together for a single season, our spring season. It's going to be our largest season ever. We anticipate over 2,600 athletes participating in our leagues throughout both territories, and over 300 plus teams, which is obviously why, there's so much coach recruitment going on, because we just have so many teams. We have so many kids playing in our programs. And it seems like things are going really well, and we're really excited about what we have ahead of us. With that said, with that growth, that's great. That's all well and good. We're happy about that. But, Nick and I, our number one priority here is making sure that it isn't just growth for the sake of growth, right? We're not here just to offer leagues all across Fairfax and Loudoun County and just, wipe our hands and be like, great, awesome. Here, you guys go, have fun this season. Nick and I will be extremely involved in every aspect of the day-to-day operations to make sure that this season hopefully is the best one yet. And what that means is that Nick and I are working tirelessly to train our staff, the ones that'll be out there assisting you guys on game day, refine and retool our practice plans, our coaching resources, our staff resources. So that way everybody is ready to go for opening day, week 2, week 3, all the way to week 7, right? The only way you guys are going to be able to be successful out there is if we're doing our job to make sure you guys are comfortable, you guys are educated, you guys are ready to go on what practice plans to run that week, and where your venue's at, what field are you on, and making sure we got staff out there to assist you guys. So with that said, I just want to say a huge thank you, and I'll speak for Nick in this as well. Thank you to each and every one of you that are on this call for stepping up to volunteer this season. We cannot do what we do without you guys. You are the ones that these kids look up to, your own kids, obviously, of course, but the other children that are going to be on their team, right? Depending on the sport, you're going to have anywhere from 6 kids on your team to maybe 10, all of which that are going to be impacted by all of you guys. The one thing I like to share, not only with our staff at our virtual staff trainings, but also with our coaches on these calls, and that is, I want everybody to take a second and just think back to when you guys were younger, right? When you guys were playing youth sports. Can you tell me that you remember all the goals you scored when you were 5 years old on the soccer field, or all the baskets you made when you were 6? Can you remember all of those? Probably not, right? You're probably not thinking back to, how amazing was that basket I made when I was 7 years old from the 3-point line, right? But you probably, I would hope almost everybody here who has participated in sports or maybe in music or theater, you had an individual that was out there encouraging you and instructing you and just being a presence out there in your life. And you can think back and probably name that person right off the top of your tongue. Yeah, I remember Coach LaRose when he was, coaching our 13U baseball team. I'm 32 now, but I remember it like it was yesterday. He coached us for 2 seasons. And it was just the fact that he showed up, was always exuberant, enthusiastic, encouraging. He played basketball his whole life. He never played baseball, but he still put us in a position to have fun, to go out there, be ourselves, and learn a few things, right? Not everybody from our team went off to play in college or the pros, many of which from that team, went off to get business degrees or sport management degrees or, move into music, right? But we can all look back and remember, hey, remember how awesome it was playing for Coach LaRose? And each and every one of you have that opportunity this season to make that level of an impact in these kids' lives. And I'm just so excited to hopefully help you guys get to that point, right? And help be a part of that. Because Nick and I, unfortunately, we can't be at every venue with every team, with every athlete. So we don't get that opportunity that all of our coaches that are assigned to each team get for the season. So, biggest thank you to each and every one of you. Can't wait to get this season kicked off. And without further ado, I want to jump into a quick, brief overview of the webinar. How many of you got the link for our parent coach webinar and remember this is how it started? Philosophy and coach responsibilities. Did anybody get this link? It went out a couple times in the emails. Have you guys seen this? Thumbs up if you've seen this PowerPoint. People, I'm hopeful it's a couple people. I know there's probably some that haven't. We send out a lot of emails. We're trying to educate everybody, give everybody the information for the season. So I'm going to breeze through this real quick. But basically, this is just our way of sharing resources with you guys to help you understand what we're trying to do at the fields and how you guys are all going to be able to be successful as, volunteer coaches this season. So the biggest thing is our philosophy. And this is what sets us apart from other programs in a lot of different ways, right? We're all about fun. We're all about inclusivity. We're all about safety. We're all about convenience, and we're all about organization. If any of those are missing from a venue, it's going to be noticeable because those are the 5 things that we strive for every day when you guys show up to the venue. And if we're not hitting those marks, send us a message at the league office. Nick and I want to know. Like I said, we have so many programs going. We are participating in programs across 15 venues this season. It's a lot to manage, and we're doing our best to make sure all of our site managers are trained and ready to provide us with information where we're missing the marks. But you guys as parent coaches, you have our direct contact. The league office emails, which I'll touch on in 2 slides, please use that. Send us a message. Let us know what's going on. We're here to be an asset for you guys, not just provide you with the practice plans and provide you with the rules and provide you with paid staff that are out there to help make your jobs easier. But, we want to make sure you guys are having the best time and your kids are having a great time. So, those are our philosophy, the big ticket items. The primary reason all these kids are out there in our programs are to have fun. That's why we're fun focused. We do keep score, and we are here to have a legitimate league because structure, having a league, having that organization provides kids the stepping stones that if they do want to continue on with the sport, maybe it's their first time playing it, we're providing them with that structure to learn how the sport works moving forward so that if they do go on to, play at an older age or, whatever it may be, they understand the structure of it while also remembering how much fun they had out there because it's a fun-focused league first and foremost. We are a recreational volunteer program. Another thing, inclusivity. All of our kids should play. And I'm leaning on all of our coaches to make that happen, right? Our staff is going to be keeping an eye on that as they're reffing the games. And we try to make it as easy as possible by having our staff call out sub breaks and telling you guys when to sub at the quarter mark. When we do that, it provides a lot easier of an opportunity for you guys to make sure everybody gets in, everybody plays, and it's a great experience. The next piece, safety. I'm not sure everybody who's on this call should already be, assigned to a team, but if you're not, that just means that we're still trying to get your background check cleared. You have to complete one final step, but all of our coaches are background checked. So the red shirts, that is for, I just saw a question come through. Sorry, I lost my train for a second. So all the coaches are background checked. Yeah, sorry. I saw the question about baseball. So anyway, back to safety. So coaches are background checked. We need you guys to complete those if you haven't. That's, as you see the gentleman over here in the picture, the red coaches shirt. That's a certified coaches shirt. We give those out to our coaches on game day so the kids know who their coaches are. To be a certified coach, you have to complete your background check. If you have any questions about that, we can talk about it after the call and help you directly with that link. Next two things: convenience. You guys know life is busy. You have a lot going on, and many of you have joined our leagues because you want that convenient aspect. You want your child to be able to do multiple things, whether it's piano, choir, dance, gymnastics, maybe just general life things that are going on with you and the rest of your family, and you want a convenient outlet for your kid to play basketball or soccer or baseball. We try to be as convenient as possible. That's why practice comes right before the game. None of you need to go and secure fields. We provide you with the practice field for practice. Practice takes place right before the game. It's no more than 45 minutes for some age groups and 30 minutes for other age groups. And then the game will happen right afterwards. We provide the rest for the game. Our staff's out there to make sure that everything's moving along and on schedule. And they're out there to help make sure that it's a convenient environment for you guys to execute the practice plans, right? It's only 30 to 45 minutes. We're only going to be able to get in about 3 or 4 drills every practice. And as long as we come prepared with those drills, we'll be ready to go. Last but not least is organization, as I already kind of touched on with the practice plans and the game rules. We refine those each season. All of them have been posted. They're in the mobile coach app, which we'll touch on at the end when we go over the parent resources. And the practice plans have been refined and retooled pretty much every single season, if not every year. I-9 is always looking to revamp and revitalize those. So we have those in place. And if you just follow along with those, your experience as a parent coach is going to go amazing. And to be honest, if you don't want to follow along with those, maybe you have your own coaching resource because you've been coaching for years. That's great. You can run your own drills. There's nothing against that. Our staff is trained to know the practice plans and the rules, so that way they can jump out there and assist you guys. So if you need help running a drill in the practice plan, all you got to do is call over, hey, Coach Nick, can I get you over here for a second? And if you know our staff's name, but you can grab anybody who's in a blue I-9 staff shirt. It is going to say staff across the back in big white letters, and there's going to be a white I-9 logo on the front. Depending on your venue, you're going to have anywhere from 2 to 5 staff out there at a given time, just depending on how many fields there are, how many courts, that sort of thing. So that's our philosophy. That's what makes us different from some of the other programs that are available in the area. What makes a coach great is, besides executing all those, is just being organized, having a plan during practice, being enthusiastic and passionate, understanding the philosophy that we just went over, the 5 things that were really important, knowing some sport and rule knowledge, right? But that doesn't mean you have to have played the sport. We provide you with the rules and the knowledge of the sport, right? The practice plans and the rules are all you need to make yourself even just somewhat of an expert in the area, because we've cultivated those practice plans to work. And then last but not least, staying calm always throughout practice in the game, and then executing equal playing time. That is a big one. We want to make sure that everybody's following every season. We want to make sure everybody gets at least 50% of the game time. Sometimes you're only going to have 6 or 7 kids at the field, so everybody's going to play more than that. But it's just going through the rotation, making sure everybody's rotating in and out, and we're not keeping the same kid on the field the entire game or, way longer than anybody else. If you guys do have any issues with substitutions and you feel like, oh, I got 8 kids, I'm coaching basketball, I got 8 kids, it's tough to keep track of the subs because you guys are calling for subs at the middle of the quarter mark, and then at the end of the quarter, in the middle of the quarter mark, end of the quarter mark. We actually have substitution sheets at all of our venues. So you can go ahead and just fill that out, put the kids' names in there, and it's pre-filled out with X's of when to play them. So it's up to you to use those. We highly recommend using them. It takes the guesswork out of it for you guys, and you don't have to worry about, who needs to go in. But if you guys are great with that and you already know how to do that, that's totally fine. And I do see some people putting the questions in, which is great. We'll get to those in like 10-ish minutes. But yeah, definitely feel free to toss those questions in. If I don't answer them through the call, we'll touch on them at the end. Nick's moderating and going through them to make sure we're not going to miss any when we hit that portion. Coaching responsibilities. These are some of the things that we're looking for you guys to do. Some of this has already taken place, which is why I'm touching on this webinar. It's already been sent out to everybody who's assigned. Some people might have just become coaches. But, abide by the I-9 Sports philosophy. Emailing your parents to the I-9 Sports website We already instruct everybody to do that early on. And the reason we do that is because we want to make sure every team has 2 coaches. And you guys are able to help us do that by sending a quick message to the team through the I9 Sports portal under Message Team. You can click right on there under your coaching hub and just click Message Team. And then you can send a message to the team. Hey, looking for another coach to help out this season. We want to have between 2 to 3 coaches. Would love to get another coach to step up and help out during the practices and help out with subs during the games. It goes a long way, and it takes away some of that cold feet that some of you might have experienced yourself, or maybe you didn't have that experience with cold feet. You were just excited to be a coach. Just having that message and reassurance from somebody else also helps them to know, you're not alone, and none of you are alone, right? That's why we provide the staff. That's why we're here for this call and here throughout the season to help you guys. Make sure to always wear your coach's shirt every week. If your coach's shirt does not fit on opening day, please come up and see us at the site table or speak to one of our staff members. We should have extra shirts on site just in case we need to get you a different size. And if we don't that week, do not worry. What the site manager and what the site leads are supposed to do is fill out the form to let us know that we need to provide X size the next week, right? Whether it's another small, a medium, an XL, a 2X, whatever it might be. So, make sure you're always wearing your shirt. And if it doesn't fit, just let us know. Some people got put onto the rosters late and we didn't have the shirt size for you guys. So there might just be a large in the back. Always arrive on time, if not a few minutes early. You're going to want to check in at the I9 Sports table and check your name off on the coach check-in sheet. It'll be the big red table right when you enter your venue. If it's an indoor venue, there'll just be the table. And if you're at an outdoor venue, there'll be a canopy as well as a table there. It's real quick and easy. You just walk up, you check your name off, and then you grab either your sportsmanship medals or stickers. Now you're probably already jumping into that. What's the difference? The super peewee groups, the 3 to 4 year olds, they all get stickers. 3 and 4 year olds don't want sportsmanship medals. They all love stickers, right? Paw Patrol, whatever it might be. From the 5 and up age groups, that is when we start to award the sportsmanship medals for the sportsmanship value of the week, which we are looking for all of our coaches and also our staff, if they have to step in that week and help while one of you guys are out of town or something came up. Our staff will award those. But we award sportsmanship values every week, and every week has a sportsmanship value. We'll go over them at the venues. You'll get them in the weekly emails on Thursdays, and they're always available online in the newsletters as well. Last but not least, appropriate contact and reporting. We just ask that you guys all be appropriate at the venues. I'm sure we have no questions at all with any of that. But if you see something, say something, and we're there to assist you guys in everything that you guys are doing out there. Last but not least, the sportsmanship values we just talked about a little bit. Every week has its own value. It's sent out. Every child would get a sportsmanship medal. So if you have a team, yes, I will show where the message, the team link will be. So if you have a team with 10 kids on it, and there's only 7 weeks in the season, there's going to be a few weeks where you have to award 2 medals, right? Just try to think about that when you have the sportsmanship value for the day. Some are easier to award multiple medals for, such as respect or maybe leadership or even enthusiasm, right? The week number 1 in sportsmanship value is enthusiasm. And then, it is what you make of it. It's the key value in our league. Sportsmanship is so valuable. We want everybody to understand that that's what we're driving. Although we do keep score and there is a winner in almost every single sport except for baseball. We don't keep score in T-ball and coach pitch baseball because everybody scores. So there's no real point to keep score. Everybody scores. There's no real outs in that program. But it is what you make of it. So if you guys take the time at the end of the session, the end of your game, you rally the team together, high fives all around, win or lose, right? We're still enthusiastic, win or lose. And we're still going to reward the sportsmanship medal. You guys are the ones that are going to drive how that goes, right? If you're down, everybody's down. It's not going to be the best experience. But if you have that enthusiastic attitude and you just say, hey, great job. This week's winner of the sportsmanship value for showing the sportsmanship value of respect. They were extremely respectful out there to the ref when they missed that call, or to the other child that fell, help them up. The winner this week is going to be Susie. And then you award that medal, right? You make something of it. The parents are going to clap, the kids are going to clap, and it's a monumental moment that the kids are going to remember. And so we're asking you guys to be a part of that each and every week that you guys are out there. The last part of this webinar, which we spent a little bit of time going over, is the league office emails, as I mentioned already. You've already probably received the emails from the league office throughout the the weeks leading up to this, and you'll continue to receive them with the coaching resources each week. But our Fairfax County I-9 league office is league.office307 at I-9 Sports. And then the Loudoun County one is league office 165 at I-9 Sports. That is the best way to get in touch with us. We try to respond to everything within 24 to 48 hours. Occasionally, we will miss that a little bit and it'll go 72. It all depends on how many emails we're siphoning through. Different parts of the year, we'll get an influx of emails. For example, when the schedules go out, when we release the schedules to everybody and we send out that schedule email, we have 2,600 athletes playing in our program. If only 5% of those people send us an email in a given week, that's a lot of emails that we have to respond to. And we want to make sure to provide that really great customer service that's more than just a quick, hey, you know where to find this, go click on this, right? We want to be personable. We want to have that personality to it, right? We want you to feel like more than just this is a transactional experience and you picked to be a parent coach and you paid to be in a league. Here's your field location, get out there, right? Nick, myself, and Brandon go through all the emails. Nick reads pretty much 75% of the emails, while Brandon also helps. He's our operation manager. He's not on the call today. So, always feel free to reach out, and we absolutely will answer your questions and do our best to provide you with the most up-to-date answers on everything. Now let's quickly jump into, so I got a few more minutes before we jump into the Q&A. I just want to touch on two things. And the first one is really big. It's going to be what to expect on opening day. So probably a majority of you all will be there on opening day this weekend, whether it's Saturday or Sunday, whatever your venue is. Arrive a little bit early than maybe anticipated, right? Try to get there like 10 minutes early and head straight to the site table. Check in there, get your jersey bags. You'll want to make sure to check the box for your name on the check-in sheet. If you don't see it there, talk to our staff, but it should be there. Make sure to grab your sportsmanship medals, as we already talked about, or stickers. And then you'll also get a roster. Now, the roster in your portal, will be at least the most up-to-date day of venue, but go off of the roster sheet our staff gives you. We do print those off on Thursday night, so there might be a couple roster moves going into the weekend, but you can always access your roster via the portal, and we're absolutely there on the game day to help out if there's been any players added to your team or anything like that. We always have extra jerseys at the venues as well, so you can send them to the site table if you don't have enough jerseys, right? If you have an extra player that wasn't on your roster. From there, you'll head to your practice area, and once you get to the practice area, you'll be able to hold up that sign that's in your jersey bag. It'll have, if you guys are the Rockets, it'll say Rockets on it. And you'll just hold that up so everybody knows that that's where to head. Make sure to put on the red coach's shirt as well, so they know that you're the coach for the Rockets. Our staff will be out there in the blue. You guys will be out there in the red. The parents are expecting their coaches to be in the red shirts. That's what they've been instructed to do. Head to your practice area and look out for your coach in the red shirt. From there, kids will start to tunnel in, and they'll get there for game day. And then you'll just hand out the jerseys based on the jersey size that's on the roster. If you have any questions about any of that, our staff are there to point you in the right direction as well. But there's a column for jersey size, and the roster will have all the kids' names on it. You can just go down there and ask that. You don't need to ask them, hey, what size are you? Everything's right there. And go off of the answers on the sheet, because we put the jerseys in there to obviously correlate the roster sizes. After that, you'll start practice. Quick introduction. You'll introduce yourself, maybe some other parent helpers that are going to be helping that day, and then introduce the team, right? We're going to go around in a circle. Let's get everybody's name. Do a quick icebreaker, right? Maybe everybody's name, favorite color, favorite athlete, something fun like that, and just go around the circle and do a little icebreaker. Then we'll jump into practice, again, following along with the practice plans. And then, once we do that, then we're going to be finishing up practice. Our practice will be the normal standard time, if not a little bit longer on the first day. So I'll use one sport as an example to put this example out there. If you're coaching a Super Pee Wee soccer team, every weekend the time is the same. It's a 1-hour session. So maybe it's 9 to 10 a.m. On opening day, practice might actually be 9:05 because, you do your introductions, you walk everybody around the field, so on and so forth. then you jump into practice, actually doing some dribbling drills at 6:00 or 9:05, 9:10, and then you'll practice. Normally at 9:30, we'll jump into the game. But on opening day, we want to give you guys extra time to practice, right? Some of these kids, this is their first time playing. This is your first time coaching this specific team, maybe. And so we give you an extra 5 to 10 minutes to practice. So the game, and I mean scrimmage, might start at 9:35. You know, our refs will blow the whistle. All right, guys, 2 minutes to game. We're going to jump into a scrimmage here in a second. Get some water. Let's get out here and do a scrimmage. And then we'll run the scrimmage. We always end each session a little early on opening day because we anticipate the next group to show up a little early. As I just mentioned, we ask that the coach show up, 5 to 10 minutes early to receive their jersey bags and head down towards their field. So the game time might end a little bit earlier. So when it would be 9 to 10 a.m., it might only be 9:55 on game day for week 1 only. Once we hit week 2 to week 7, then we're going with a normal game time. We're going back to 9:30 to 10 a.m. It's a 30-minute session. The game is not 30 minutes long. The game is 24 minutes because we do 4 6-minute quarters. But you catch the drift there, right? There's a little bit of breaks for quarters and for halftime. So that's how that'll work for week 1 with the games. And then once the game ends, as I mentioned already with the sportsmanship values, we'll jump into handing out the sportsmanship values. So that is what to expect on opening day. I'm sure you guys have a ton of questions. Nick, are a lot of questions rolling in through the chat?
Yeah, we got a few.
Okay, awesome. Yeah. So I'm going to give it 2 more minutes, guys. I know one of the questions asked about the coaching resources. That was going to be my next piece to highlight. So I'm going to take a second to stop sharing this screen, and I'm going to share a different screen for you guys. So that was the webinar that we shared. We've also shared some of the rules. I'm going to show you where on the i9 Sports portal you can access all of your resources. But I also want to encourage you guys to download the i9 Sports mobile coach app. You can find it on the Google Play Store or on the Apple Store. All you got to do is search i9 Sports mobile coach, and it'll be the first thing that pops up. You'll log into that app with the same login you use to access your coach dashboard. So if you are a spouse of somebody who registered y'all's child, so say your wife registered or your husband registered your child to play under their profile, you would have had to create a separate profile as the spouse who's going to be coaching. So you'll use your coach or your spouse, your login. You won't use your spouse's that was used to register the kids. You'll use yours because you are the one that's assigned as a coach, so you have access to these resources. So I'm going to jump in and share these. All of these are available on the mobile coach app, which is why I wanted to touch on that first. So I'm going to go ahead and share that. Can everybody see what I'm sharing? Go ahead and throw some thumbs up. Everybody got that? Okay, awesome. So here is the i9 Sports coaching resources. Also, I'm just going to click back here. This is when you go to i9sports.com. The way you would access that, you click up here on the coaches tab. I'm not logged into my account, so some of this might look a little different if you are logged in. There'll be stuff up here for your child, like roster, your schedule. There'll also be a box over here that has a drop down for your coaches portal. But for now, I'm going to go over the coaching resources. So you'll click the drop down here for coaches. This is obviously how to become a coach, the volunteer application, coaches training. All of our coaching resources are right here at the bottom. You go ahead and click on that. It'll bring you to our Youth Sports coaching resources page. And then you keep scrolling all the way to the bottom. On your way down, I already touched on this. Here's the i9 Sports mobile coach app. As you can see, there's a screenshot of the app itself for the sports rules. And then here are the 2 links to download. So you can go right there from your phone by going to i9sports.com and clicking on that coaching resources tab. And you can find the link right there instead of even searching in the store. If you keep going a little bit more, that's where you get to our sports. Now, not every sport here applies to our program because we do not offer lacrosse and athletic development clinics right now. So we have flag football, soccer, basketball, baseball, and volleyball. For the sake of this call, I'm going to use soccer as my example. And you're going to click on your sport, right? Now, as a coach, you'll have access to all the week's practice plans. You'll have access to all of the various resources here. If I try to click through all of this now, it'll stop me and ask me to log into the mobile coach. But for now, it'll give me access to the week 1 practice plan. So you will normally be logged in, especially if you're on your phone. but we can go ahead and click on our practice plans right here. We also have coaching videos as well, but we're going to click on our practice plan. Just want to make sure it's still sharing. Perfect. Yep, we're still moving along. So we click on the practice plans. Actually, it's not. Oh, okay. It opened up a different page. So let me stop sharing this quick. So it'll open up as a separate tab for that. And this is what you'll land on, is the I9 Sports Coach page. And then it'll have the practice plans. Again, this is where you'll sign in, same thing as the mobile coach app. But I can scroll down and now see Pee Wee, Senior, and Junior. The mobile coach app has our practice plans for all the different age groups. If you are coaching Super Pee Wee, click on the Pee Wee practice plans. They're very much the same practice plans because the two age groups are 3 and 4 year olds and 5 and 6 year olds. So they're going to be doing a lot of the same drills. The difference is the 3 and 4 year olds, it's more of going to be an introduction to the drills. And the 5 and 6 Pee Wee division, if you are coaching that, it's more of trying to master those drills. So I'm going to click on the Pee Wee ones, and I'm going to click on game 1. This is week 1. We're getting ready for opening day. And now it's going to give me a play-by-play, and everybody can still see the practice plan, right? Perfect. It looks like everybody can. So this is going to give me the play-by-play for how the day is going to go. Again, opening day, we're looking at a 30 to 40-minute practice. Our coaches, our staff will make sure you guys know when and where we're switching to games. But we're going to start with a warm-up, right? Meet your team, do a little field trip around the field. This is for Pee Wee and Super Pee Wee. We're going to introduce them to the field itself, the out of bounds lines, the corner flags, the goals. In the Pee Wee level, there's a goalie box, and then we're going to meet the team, right? We're going to go through those introductions, a little bit of icebreakers, and a little bit of warm up, right? We might have them run to one end of the field and back, just something to get the blood flowing and something to keep everybody loose on opening day, right? So 10 minutes of that. We're already 10 minutes into practice, right? Now we're going to do a quick water break and do a sportsmanship talk. This is the easiest way to do your practice every week. Doesn't matter what age group you are. You want to hit the sportsmanship value, do a quick warm up, get the blood flowing, get the kids running around, check in with everybody, make sure everybody's doing good, and then grab a quick water break after warm up, and then just go over the sportsmanship value. You know, hey, today's sportsmanship value is respect. And just use the blurb that we give you each week in the newsletter for what that means to have respect. Or, you know, share what you think respect is. The kids are going to provide you answers. It's going to be great. And then we're going to jump into the fundamental parts of practice. The first part of practice is going to be dribbling in space. And then the last part of practice is going to be shooting for the goal. The reason why there's only 2 drills here is, as I said, it's opening day. 10 minutes of this, and then a water and sportsmanship break. We're talking 15 minutes between these 2 areas maybe. We have 10 minutes for dribbling, and then an additional, you know, maybe 10, 15 of shooting on the goal while dribbling, right? We can be creative with that. The one cool thing I want to point you guys to, on the drills themselves, right? So I'm over here, it's telling me use this drill to help your kids dribble in space. Okay, cool. Well, what does that mean? How much space? What should I do? If you click on the drill, it actually gives you a play-by-play description of what to do for the drill. And again, you can access this right on your phone, so you're ready to go for game day. You have a little video to utilize. Obviously, some of these kids are going to be bigger than Pee Wee kids, but the drill is still the same in the end. It also gives you a diagram. We do provide you with a bag of balls for each practice. We have extra cones on site for you guys to use, flat cones, tall cones, and then you'll just set up some cones and they'll work on dribbling, right? You'll get 5 different lines, 2 kids per line. You'll have them dribble down and back. Next kid will go up, down, and back. And then maybe you get a little creative, right? Maybe you do a relay race. Maybe you have the kids practice or, you know, have a little competition. Who can finish first? Like line A, B, C, D, E, and just go down. And that's how you'll do that, right? Here's some of the coaching points you can use, and then how you can increase some of the difficulty. As I mentioned, the relay race, create some competition, create some pressure. Who can complete the drill the fastest? Allow players to move slower if they need to. Keep your eye on the ball. This is just that one drill. We provide all that little feedback to help you guys, you know, elevate the practice, right? And then I can hit the back button, and that'll bring me right back out to the practice plans. I can hit shoot for the goal, and then it'll show me that same drill running up, shoot, or dribble, dribble, shoot, right? So that is our coaching resources. All of them are located online. The practice plans are there. The rules are there. Everything is on the mobile coach app. And yeah, happy to help anybody figure out how to get them. If you're having trouble accessing them, reach out to us at the league office. We'll send you some links. We'll get you guys taken care of. But we want to make sure this is the best season yet. So that's about 35 minutes of the session. We went over, everything about us, how important it is that you guys are out there, and we're so thankful for you guys. We covered what to expect on opening day, although I did go fairly quickly. We are recording this and going to be sending this out with the YouTube link to everybody as well, so you guys can go back and watch. And then talked about the resources. So now I'm going to open the floor for a little Q&A. The way we're going to do this Q&A is we're going to do the chat feature that we have. I know I saw a ton of questions already come through, so I'm going to go through and start at the top and roll down. So feel free to shoot out questions. When I address your question, if there's any more dialogue off of it, if you have any questions, or if you're good, just throw a thumbs up on your question. If you have any more questions, throw the raise the hand and I'll look out for you. I think every comment is assigned to a person. Yeah, it is. So awesome. So we've got Coach Ben. No score kept for T-ball on the rules, just confirming. Yes, that is correct.
Yeah, you addressed that. Yeah, I'm good.
Yep, perfect. Awesome. Thanks for coaching, Ben. Next, we got Coach Kim. If I have a team of 4 to 5-year-olds, are they considered Pee-wee or junior? Great question. So 3 to 4-year-olds are super Pee-wee, and 5 to 6-year-olds are Pee-wee. You can see what group you are on your schedule when you open up your I9 Sports Portal page. SPW means Super Pee-wee, PW means Pee-wee, junior is junior, and senior is the SR. So JR, SR. We abbreviate the age groups for that. So just look out for that S before the PW, and that lets you know that you're in the 3 to 4-year-old age bracket for the Super Pee-wees. Typically, everybody who does hit 5, we move up to the next division, and if they're 4, we keep them down unless for another reason we have to move them up. Coach Aaron, can you show where to go on the team to message a team? I don't know if I'll be able to do that. Let me see if I can log in real quick.
Go ahead to the next question, and I can pull it up.
Okay, yeah, Nick, you want to pull that up and then get ready to share your screen quick?
Yep.
So we'll cover that. Correct Ben, T-ball. Yep, Nick covered that. Is there somewhere to track attendance in advance of practice games within the app? So there's nowhere we've used to track attendance. We've never really had that issue. I will be honest, there are some kids that sign up for our program and they'll miss 3 weeks. It's a fun focused rec program. Sometimes things come up for families, events, unfortunately, sometimes tragedies or different things like that. So there's nowhere to track that. So it's up to you if you'd like to track it, just to kind of keep track of who's been to how many games. But we don't make up playing time. So if you miss week 3, we don't look for week 4 to make up playing time for Ben because he missed last week. We just try to make sure everybody's getting equal playing time. Yes, parents have the option on their screen to select attending. It's under schedule, will attend. Okay. So there you have it. I guess they can tell you they will be attending. The other way that we've had parents let us know is they'll reach out to us and say, hey, just want to let you know I won't be Cindy won't be there tomorrow morning. She has the flu. She's throwing up. And what we try to do is reach out to the coach with a quick email and just let him know, hey, coach, just want to let you know Cindy's not going to be there tomorrow. So don't be surprised if she's not there. Oftentimes, they'll also reach out. Matthew, Coach Matt, regarding player safety over the past 3 years, one official each season is refereeing for the first time, sometimes entering the season midway through. What specific training do you have for your officials complete prior to first game? Nice. That, Coach Matt, I appreciate that question. I appreciate you coaching with us for so many seasons. So one thing I will touch on. So I'm the athletic director. I've been here for a year and a half now. And since I've come on board here, my number one goal with our training aspects are obviously, one, as I mentioned at the beginning, make sure all of our coaches, don't feel bamboozled, right? The last thing I want any of our coaches to feel is that they were tricked into being a coach and not prepared, right? So we provide all the training for our coaches. We want to make sure you guys have everything you need, which is why we've instituted parent-coach Q&As. And to piggyback off that with our staff, we have revamped our training processes for our staff tenfold. We now offer 5 to 7 total training opportunities for our staff to prep them for the season. We record all of our virtual trainings and we require our staff to watch those. We also have courses online for them to complete before starting a first shift. Those courses are all question-based on the rules and player safety. And we go over everything with our staff the week before. So I actually have a staff meeting tomorrow. Nick and I will be running with all of our staff. It's a virtual training call, going over a lot of what we just did with you guys today, what to expect on opening day, how to work with the coaches, how to be an asset and engaged at the venues, many of which our staff have only continued to get stronger each year as we've recruited. And we've honed in on what we're looking for to make that experience better. So we do a ton with our virtual training courses and our online training courses for our staff. And then we also have in-person training as well. Now, obviously, if a staff member is unable to attend an in-person training, they're not able to get that aspect, but we go above and beyond to make sure that we go over everything with them ahead of time. We offer 2 in-person trainings. We actually just completed our second one yesterday. And we actually had 42 staff there for our spring season, and we had 25 or 30 at our first one. So between the 2 trainings, we've had over 65 staff, and that's actually how many we intend to have out covering all of our venues on a weekly basis. So beyond that, we also train all of our site managers in the leadership role to be able to provide basic first aid, to work with our staff to make sure that they're following through on all the protocols that we need to be doing when it comes to officiating and making sure it's a fun, safe environment. Sometimes, unfortunately, a staff member will miss the mark, right? And our objective and our goal with our site managers, Nick, myself, is to catch that. If a staff member, for whatever reason, seemed prepared, seemed to check the boxes, and they show up and they're not ready to go, we'll pivot. We'll make sure that that's taken care of. And if you feel like there is a safety concern at the venue, please reach out to me. I'm happy to get on a phone call with a coach that reaches out about that. We've had issues in the past, right? I mean, it's 2,600 athletes. You're bound to have something happen at a venue. But we try to do our very best to train our staff to understand how the games work, to be ready to go, and we hire them before the season. We're trying to get rid of hiring during the season. Unfortunately, we are a part-time based program, so we do have staff that will sometimes leave during the season, and we have to replace them with new staff. We have to bring on staff as we go. But we've completely revamped our training processes and resources to get our staff ready to go for day one. So that way they're not stepping on the field without any knowledge or any background in that venue or that sport. So I hope that answers your question, Coach Matt. But if you have any additional feedback or any additional questions on that, happy to jump on a call. You can send me an email at the league office. We'll just keep rolling. I know we had a lot to get through. Coach Chris, injuries. Yep. Okay, so perfect. So we do have first aid kits on site, bandages, gauze. We also keep ice packs on site and readily available. Any sort of a major injury that might require like an ambulance, we'll obviously immediately call 911. But we keep basic first aid kits on site with a lot of that, as I mentioned, the Band-Aids, the gauze. We do keep concessions at all the venues. So we have bottled water. If we need to rinse out something, we do try to keep hydrogen peroxide there as well. But we try not to go above and beyond providing, that basic first aid stuff. And then the cold compress pack. So all of that will be readily available for you guys if needed. Just head up to that site table or that big red tent, and we'll get you taken care of. Scorekeepers, that is great. Depending on what sport it is, Coach Anthony, for volleyball, we have the giant scoreboards that are out there. We'd love to have the parents volunteer and do the scoreboard while our staff is reffing. That's for volleyball during the games. It's just helpful to have that score flipper. But all other sports, our staff is actually keeping score on their little notebooks. Some of them might have to keep score on their phone if all the notebooks get like waterlogged and damaged in between the weeks. Because some of our venues, the storage, whether it's a trailer or a barn or a shed, might have a leak and the site bin gets wet. But typically they should always be keeping it on their scorebook. So they'll have it on their notebook, and they should be checking scores with you at halftime. So once we hop into the season, always anticipate them checking the scores with you at halftime at the end of the game. I already know we have 60-something people on this call. Somebody here is probably going to raise their hand and be like, I never have that happen or something like that. That's not the way it's supposed to be. They're always supposed to check the score with you at halftime and at the end of the game, just to make sure that you understand what the score was, or at least what they had, right? And make sure there's no discrepancy. Because if you thought it was 24-10 and they had 20 to 10 or 30 to 20, we want to make sure to eliminate those. So we do have scorekeepers. Those are our refs. Coaches' shirts will be in your bag. So on opening day, that jersey bag will have all the jerseys as well as any coaches' shirts for our assigned coaches. So you'll get that red shirt in that bag. And again, if you don't have the right size, you can head to the table. Coach Aaron, what is the average team size for soccer, 6-year-olds, 7-year-olds, coaching 2 16-year-old team, coaching 2, team of 5, and 7 has 12. Got it. Good question, Coach Aaron. So once we hit 7 to 10 years old in soccer, that's when we jump into our junior and senior age brackets. Some venues are just juniors. We only have enough registrations to do 7 to 10 together. And so we just have one giant junior division with 4 teams. The reason we do that is to eliminate people playing the same team each week. Kids don't want to play the same team each week. So rather than having 2 teams of 7 8-year-olds and 2 teams of 9 and 10-year-olds, we combine everybody. Typically, the numbers don't work either to even form the teams that way. But some venues we will have junior and senior. So it'll be 7 to 8 and then 9 and 10. For the junior and up soccer program, it's actually 7-on-7 on the field, and we play on the big field, which is why you have 12 kids to that team. For the 5 and 6-year-old Pee Wee division, they will play 5-on-5 or 4-on-4 if we have an issue with attendance that week. So if you only have, you're saying you have 5 on the team, I'll have to look at that and see what's going on there. We might have had some kids drop again. Rosters change. We get people that reach out, hey, I have a schedule conflict. But you'll have 5 to play. Some weeks you might have to play 4 depending on the attendance. But we'll make sure you get ample breaks, the water breaks, the water break in the middle of the quarter mark and at the end of quarter. So it's 7-on-7 for the junior 7 and up. And for 5 and 6-year-olds, it's 5-on-5. And for Super Pee Wee soccer, the 3 and 4-year-olds, it's actually 4-on-4. Okay, coach attendance. Is it coaches to request parents to sign up for sex? It is not your responsibility to request it. One thing I would say is use that member, like being able to message the team. I would say just reach out to the team and just say, hey, we're looking for people to volunteer for snacks, or better yet, that first week when you're at the game. And it looks like Coach Katrina and Coach Dennis, that first week when you're at the game, just put that out there. Hey guys, thanks for being out here. Really excited to work with everybody. We're going to have snacks each week from weeks 2 through 7. Maybe it's not an opening day. Maybe you guys are bringing snacks if nobody signed up, and just say, we're looking to do snacks. There is the way to sign up on the schedule on the I9 Sports portal. Everybody will be able to see it. You guys should be able to see it as well. Or you can mark that you're bringing snacks that week, and you can have people sign up to bring snacks. It makes it a much more fun team environment when we do it that way. Coach Anthony, how are the teams chosen? Great question. We don't have any tryouts. It's a fun focus rec program. We put the teams together. We do our best to balance the teams. So a couple of aspects that impact team construction are buddy requests and coach requests. If you're coaching a team and you have a phenomenal time this season, you want to bring your team back next year, reach out to us. We'll show you how to sign up for a team code. So that way you can share the team code ahead of time for a future season, and we can get your team back together. People fill out buddy requests, coach requests, and special requests on all of their registrations. We try to honor every single one of those as best as we can. Now, obviously, if somebody signs up today or tomorrow for this weekend, it's going to be very hard to maybe, give a coach request or even maybe a buddy request if the teams are set and we don't have any room in that program. But we do try to get all of those taken care of. We go through countless efforts weeks ago, actually, to make all of them happen. So we construct the teams that way through buddy requests. The next step is making sure to have an equal number of boys and girls on each team. We check to see how many people are marked as intermediate and advanced, and we try to level those out as well. And then we also go as far as to balance out the average height and weight of the teams. So we make sure that the average height, the average weight also line up. And then the last checkpoint we try to do to make it as best an experience as possible is we'll actually take a look at what schools the kids are signed up for and, try to link up some kids that are from the same school, even if they don't have buddy requests. So that way, maybe they have a classmate who's in the program as well. So that's how we construct our teams. So if you do want to get a team together in a future season, or if you have your child's friends all want to sign up together, let's do the buddy request, coach request, reach out to me and ask me. We're happy to share how to do the team code. We'll actually have a team code flyer for midway through the season for you guys to use to sign up for future seasons, and keep your teams together and coming back so that way you guys are growing each week. Coach Matt, yep. Ball pumps, yes. Yep, we just packed all the site bins this week. They all do have ball pumps. If any go missing, it is on our site managers to let us know, and it's something I reach out to them every week to let us know what they need at the venues, whether it's more ice packs, mouth guards, maybe Band-Aids, or more soccer balls if some go flat. So we'll make sure there's ball pumps there, but that's a good note, Nick. Make sure to write that down. Find the rules, Coach Brian. The rules are on the portal right next to the practice plans. When you click under coaching resources, it's sports rules and the practice plans as I showed. And then the mobile coach app is another great spot to find the rules. And we'll also send out all the rules links again with the links to this this webinar to all the assigned coaches. Coach Nathan, I only have 6 kids on my baseball team. I've not seen any other coach on my team. One other team we will play each week. Is that correct? Yeah, Coach Nathan. I'm not sure what venue you're at.
Yeah.
Actually, I see you right here on the call. What venue are you at?
We're at the Wolf Trails Park.
Okay. Yeah. So in that instance, I would have to look. I can't remember off the top of my head if the programs have 4 teams or 2 teams. If it is 2 teams, it will be the same teams that you're facing each week. And having 6 kids it's a healthy number. We try to max out our T-ball programs at 8 to try to avoid too many kids standing around not hitting. But it will most likely, if you only see 2 teams and you're facing that same team each week, then you are just going to have the 2 teams just kind of going against each other each week.
Okay, and then the last question in there is contact team. It's called contact team, not message team. And I did that. And I messaged to myself, I think. So I might just copy and paste everybody's in from my personal Gmail. Is that all right?
Yeah, that's okay. Fine too. Yeah. When you do message, so it does go to you, but it's like a BCC, so you're not going to be able to see that it messaged everybody just because it goes through the portal. But let me just double check on that to see if that is an indication that something's wrong or not. So you said when you sent the message through contact team, it bounced back.
Right back like, hey, thanks, got the message, see you Sunday. I just haven't heard anything from anybody. And yeah, it does only say that you reached out to Nate Hoff is what it says. So that's what I don't know.
Got it. No, I appreciate that feedback. And that's honestly another piece of this is, we're learning as well. Until we have this come up and we speak to a coach about some of these things, we don't even know that they can occur, right? We have so many things going on. So let me look at that and I'll get back to you. Okay.
Sure. Just last thing is I only signed up to be an assistant coach. And so I also was a little bit caught off guard by being the full coach, but like I'm embracing it. It's cool. You guys have some really great stuff here. So I'm all set. If
awesome.
I have the most that I can,
I wanted to kind of
Coach Nate.
Sorry, Lewis. Sorry. I wanted to coaches that are kind of in the same boat where you thought you were just kind of be the assistant. Don't worry. I have it written down and I'm still actively going through and kind of getting more coaches on board. So like my goal is by week 2 that you guys won't be alone at all. So it's really just for that first week that I'm trying to make sure every team at least just has one. And then from there, like my job isn't over. I have to kind of keep going through and keep adding coaches. But at the end of the day, my goal is to have each team have 2, even 3 coaches almost, if I can get it. Just in case, I know, Josh, you also mentioned this too, like in case one person's out of town, another coach can step up. So, but yeah, I'm going to be working for at least the first and second week of the season, which is still trying to kind of get more parents on board. So.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing that, Nick. And another thing I see that actually pertains to this next question, I think 2 people had this question, Coach Josh and then Coach Mike. What if we're gone for a session and we're the only coach on the team? Can parents volunteer for a weekend? That is correct. So the big thing with being a certified coach, obviously, is that we're checking that box that you're certified, background check, all that stuff, and you will be wearing the red shirt. But that doesn't mean that, Jacob's dad or mom can't help out or Susie's dad or mom can't help out. It just means that we have this person certified as the coach for the team who can contact the team, right? If somebody says, hey, I want to coach and I want to help out, but they never do their background check, one, they can't have access to message the team because they're not cleared. But that doesn't mean that they can't hold the baseball batting stick in the on-deck circle while Coach Nate has the kids in the circle on the field, just making sure everybody's being safe, right? We always try to encourage asking, hey, can I get another dad or mom to step up and just help me run the drills today? Just because you're the only coach does not mean that we're looking at you as, Coach Nate, we know you said assistant coach, but have fun, right? We put the staff out there as well. So I'll be honest, we have Coach Connor. We try to call all of our staff coach as well to kind of keep that coach momentum. But Coach Connor is one of our baseball staff. He's going to be out there as well. And obviously at Wolf Trails, we'll have 2 teams practicing over here and 2 teams on the other side of the field. It's Coach Connor's job to go around and make sure everybody's set. Encourage other parents to step up and help out. It doesn't take a lot to get helpers during practice, especially when you know what you're asking for. That's one thing that we tell our staff, to ask for specific help, right? It's very difficult, and I appreciate everybody here stepping up to be a coach, but it's very difficult to get people that might have cold feet, as I mentioned earlier, to step up and be a coach when they don't even know, they don't know what you're asking them to do, right? I'll use that drill that we just talked about earlier, the dribble drill. If you ask, hey, can I get a mom or dad to step up here and help me with this drill? We got 5 lines. We're going to be doing some dribbling drills. I'm going to tell you what to do and where to stand. And we're just going to help make sure all the kids are getting through the drill and having fun. An extra set of eyes always helps. We do have our staff out there, and don't hesitate to go up to our staff and be like, hey, coach, maybe you don't have their name. Hey, I'm Coach Nate. And then they'll introduce themselves to you. And it might be Coach Kendrick in our blue staff shirt out there. Maybe, hey, Kendrick, can I get some help with practice today? It's just me. I can't get anybody to step up, and I want to do a couple drills where we have 2 different lines, so we're getting more action for the kids, and they're getting more touches and reps, right? Our staff is happy to help in or jump in and help you guys, as well as also ask for additional help. As I mentioned, we train all of our staff for that. So Coach Josh, rest assured, if you are away as well, our staff is automatically going to jump in and do that as well. Please reach out to us and let us know that you're going to be away, just so we can mark it down. We do our best to try to make sure we have all of that ahead of time, so our staff at the venue is prepped and ready to go. So it's not a bunch of people standing around going, hey, wait, where's Coach? We had no idea they weren't going to be here. Because unfortunately, Coach Nate, like your situation, we do get some coaches that proactively will reach out to the team and let everybody know, hey, guys, just want to let you know I'm out of town this week on business, so I'm not going to be able to be there. Really sorry to miss week 3, but I'll be back for the rest of the season. And it's crickets. Nobody responds for whatever reason. That's just how some people work. That's just the way it goes. So reach out to us, please. Let us know so we can mark it down and make sure that we have the proper assistance there. So that way your team isn't left out in the dry for 5 to 10 minutes while everybody figures out that, oh, the coach isn't actually going to be here today. Coach assistant, I'm going to jump to the next question if I cover everything. I saw Josh, you threw a thumbs up, so I think I got everything there.
I did have, I'm sorry, I just want
Coach,
very quick
Coach
follow-up.
Mike,
If we know that we're going to be out and we get crickets from parents and we notify you all, one of the coaches on the field is going to be able to take our spot?
Yes, that is correct.
Firm.
Yeah, they'll
Okay.
jump in and make sure that the drills get run. As I mentioned, the same practice plans you guys have, we have actually downloaded and put them all in our staffing portal. So all of our staff have access to them. And the part of being an I-9 sports instructor / official is the expectation and responsibility of knowing your practice plans each week for those sports so they can jump in, not only help you guys, but also jump in and coach if needed for that week. Awesome. So let's hit these last couple. I think I got like six more maybe. Coach Matt, hey there, first time coach. Thanks for coaching. Really appreciate it. Never played or coached before. Not a big deal. Just registered and was envisioning being an assistant coach. Looks like I'm the only coach who volunteered. Feeling like I might need some help. Great point, Coach Matt. And absolutely, we're there to help you guys. And not a big deal. The first thing I would say is take some time over the next couple of days before opening day to look over the week 1 practice plan for your sport and for your specific division. So that way you know the drills just the way they are, just as I showed you, right? The Pee Wee drill for week 1 is the dribbling. We're going to do some dribbling. We're going to do some competition. Then we're going to do some dribble, shoot, and then we're going to be done with practice. So look at that. But when you get there, let our staff know, hey, I'm a new coach this season. We're happy to step in and help you on opening day and throughout the season as well. If Coach Matt, if you're still on the call, what sport and what venue are you going to be at? If you're still here, I'll give you a couple of seconds.
That was flag football, and
Okay.
I think what is it, Millsfield maybe?
Millsfield, awesome. Yeah, Millsfield. That's a new venue we're running this season. Virginia Academy is under construction, so we weren't able to use that venue. So we're at Millsfield. It's actually a beautiful field. I was actually just over there last week making sure we had everything together. But we will have 2 flag football staff there, as well as our site manager, Coach Josh Dugan. He is a phenomenal site manager. He's coached and ref flag football with us for years now. And he and our staff out there will absolutely be able to make sure you guys are taken care of. If it is your first time coaching or if it's your assistant coach's first time coaching, we'll make sure you guys are totally taken care of when you're out of the venue. And that goes for all sports, right? That's what we're aiming to do. We have extremely strong site managers and site leads at our indoor venue to make all that happen.
Hey, I think I think the wrong Coach Matt answered there.
Yeah, I saw that, but I answered for him anyway. But yeah, Coach Matt Collins, is that good? Does that sound good?
Yeah. I'm doing soccer, Loudoun County Day School. Yep.
Perfect. That's a great venue. We got a lot of amazing staff out there as well. And again, plenty of support out there to help jump in during your session, whether you're doing Pee Wee or Junior or Super Pee Wee. We'll take care of you guys as well. Like I said, everybody, we have the support out there. So I appreciate both Matt stepping up to coach this season. And Coach Matt Robertson, did you have anything else?
Yeah, I guess just to make sure I'm clear, like, should we allocate any time in our first practice to explaining the rules, or is that going to be handled like in a more formal way before the game starts?
So obviously so flag football, I would take some time week 1 to go over some of those, the high level items, obviously, offsides, false start, no flag guarding, no blocking downfield. Only one person can blitz. What age group are you doing, by the way, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, my son is 10. I'm not sure what the age group range is. Do
you know what grade he's in? Obviously.
4th. Yeah.
4th grade. Okay. So yeah, that's our junior age group. The 4th and 5th graders are in their junior age group. And so they're going to have, the blitzing. There's going to be a no run zone. But our staff will also go over that at the beginning of the game. Hey, they should. If they don't, we'll make sure to stop that and make sure they do. But they'll go over things at the beginning of the game. Hey, let's make sure everybody's tucking in their shirts. Make sure your flags are out there. No flag guarding. Make sure when you guys are in the no run zone, and they'll call that out during the game, that they're not running. And they'll throw flags. And the one thing that we try to set ourselves apart from just signing up for a rec soccer program or flag football, where the ref is just officiating, calling offsides, not really giving you much of a discussion, not really coaching or anything. Our staff are actually out there that in the first couple weeks of the season, regardless of the sport, they should be instructing and coaching alongside you guys during the game. So that way that the kids can understand if they did make an infraction, right? Maybe they traveled in basketball or had a handball in soccer or in flag football, they flag guarded. Our staff should be articulating what the child did wrong. And, let's make sure we don't do that again, to try to limit that and then, make sure everybody understands that. But definitely, to answer your question, wouldn't be a bad idea week 1 to go over the rules at that beginning during the icebreaker and, hey, super excited to be out here with you guys, or that water break time.
Okay. Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, no problem. All right, let's fly through here real quick. We'll be wrapping up this shortly, guys. I just want to get through these last few questions, see if I could tackle as many, and try to wrap it up. For soccer cleats, do they have to be tiny dimples, or just plastic cleats are fine? No metal cleats. So plastic cleats are fine. 3 to 4 number of innings. So yeah, we try to get through 3 innings for baseball. We try to move it along. It is like a 30 to 45 minute session for the game. So we try to move everything along with our baseball program, whether it's Super Pee Wee or Pee Wee, so coach pitch or T-ball. Last batter of inning does get a grand slam in both T-ball and coach pitch. I think that should be good, Coach Ben. let me know if you have any other questions about the resource. Hey, Coach Sam, I did my background check, but I didn't receive a notification email. The team I have to coach. We'll have to make a note of that, Nick. Coach Sam Ba, and check on that. We'll get you taken care of, Coach Sam. We'll reach out. Nick's got that, and then Coach Lauren Cassidy. I just signed up to coach team. How long will it take for my background check to be approved? Typically, that's super quick. We'll go in. Nick, can you write that down? Coach Lauren Cassidy as well. We're going to go in and make sure she's good. And then once we get you assigned, you'll be able to see your team. But we'll make sure to send you a quick message that you are both assigned to your teams and everything is good there. Appreciate you stepping up. Really, really thankful for you guys. Coach Patrick Conklin. I appear to be the only coach there for head coach. What is the plan if I can't make? So that's another thing I want to try to quell a little bit, the assignments of head coach, assistant coach, coach. We at RI9 moved to just coach. Now, nationally, the national franchise that helps put together our franchise management software that handles all of our registrations, there's no way to just have like a coach. So it says head coach, assistant coach, that type of stuff when you say you want to volunteer. We just go by coach. So if it is one coach, while that is coach, no worries, rest assured, not only is Nick working tirelessly with Carson, Chris, myself, and Todd to make sure we get 2 coaches for every team, our staff is out there to assist you as well. So if you're not going to be there, I went over this already, but if you're not going to be there, Coach Patrick, don't worry. Just let us know what week you're going to be out or how many weeks you're going to be missing and what weeks those are. We'll make sure our I9 staff is there to cover and jump in. They're also there when you're there. They're there to assist you during practice. If you need a drill, maybe the practice plan didn't make sense that week, they're there to help assist you in that.
Yeah, and if I may add, Lewis,
Yeah,
if I can add something real
yeah,
quick.
absolutely, jump in.
So I already wrote down a note for Matt Collins. I am gonna reach out for an assistant for you, just like another dual coach. Same thing with you, Patrick. I will reach out. I'll send an email before opening day, to see if I can get someone just to step up. If not, then it's the same thing like what I said earlier. Like my goal is by week 2 that those parents that may still kind of have cold feet and don't want to step up, they'll see, how things go and how easy it is really. And they'll step up and I'll also coach alongside you. But again, if you're going to be missing at all for any moment of the season, you just shoot me an email, shoot me a text, whatever. I'll write down a note and I can also try to find coverage for you if no other parents are stepping up. So, but yeah, I just like Lewis said, I'm working around the clock. There's working with like 160 teams right now. So I'm trying to get every team to get, 2 coaches on there. So, but yeah, I have you guys written down. So, and then Aaron, real quick, I can't pull it up on my computer. However, I'm going to flip my phone screen. I'm just going to show you this real quick. And for other parents that may kind of have some issues sending messages to their team, I'm just going to show you this real quick. Let's see if I can flip it. Okay, I may not be able to flip my. Oh wait, here we go. All right, cool. Can you guys see that? Cool.
I think it's a little small, depending on who is watching.
This is. I'm sorry, it is a little small. So this is just your dashboard, right? When you log in. So when you go up here, you'll see dashboard. You'll see by season. You'll see my account. Franchise info. So you're just going to go to dashboard, go to coach dashboard, and you'll get this screen, and you're just going to scroll down, and you should see this down here. Just say contact team. So just going to click that, and then you just select your team, whoever you have, and then from there you can send your message. So I just wanted to put that out there for anyone who may be kind of confused on how to send a message. But any other confusion with that, just feel free to shoot me a message. I'm not going to help you out.
Awesome, Nick. Appreciate that. And what we'll do in future, I think it might be helpful for us to add a screenshot to that email that says send a message to your team. Maybe a screenshot of where to locate that button would be helpful. So we'll definitely do that as well. So a couple more questions I just want to hit. And cola for basketball. Yeah. So we provide basketballs for every team out there. We provide a bag of basketballs. We don't have a single ball for every kid, but we do encourage everybody to bring their own ball, write their name on it, regardless of sport. we encourage that in any sport. Bring your own equipment if you want, your own ball. Just make sure you write your name on it. It always helps when the kids bring their own equipment as well, just because we don't have enough for every single kid to have a ball in basketball. If there's 10 kids on a team, the ball bags only fit about 7 or 8 basketball. So there's that. About the shirt sizes, it usually is identified on the registration when you fill out for a volunteer, whether you did or somebody else in your family filled out the volunteer form. It will say a shirt size. If we don't have one, we typically just go with a general large. But if that does not work for you, just contact us at the site table. We'll get you the right size. And if it's not there that week, we'll get it for you the next week. Coach Anthony, basketball 10 and 12, practice full court, or do we share the court? You do share the court. So it is a full court game for 10 to 12 senior basketball. However, the teams will have a half court to practice on. Almost all of our venues have side hoops as well as the end hoop. So you will have multiple hoops to shoot on at pretty much all of our venues. I'm trying to think if there's any that, no, there's none that don't, because everything is before, any games that take place before the senior group is played side to side on the half courts. So you will have multiple hoops to shoot on the half court as well. Coach Matt Robertson, will the referees go over the rules with the coaches and the kids before the game, or is it exclusively on the coaches? It is on the coaches to share as many of the rules as possible, Coach Matt. I think we went over that already. We will obviously touch on that in the coaches meeting right before we kick off the game, some high level things. Hey, let's make sure we're not double dribbling in basketball or flag guarding. Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for everybody attending. Lots of thank yous. I see Coach Patrick. Thank you. It's only 6 3 to 4 year olds. How hard can it be? I'll be fine as the only coach if that's the case. Awesome. I appreciate that. And we're there to help. Coach Mark Nickel, thanks for the Q&A. Very helpful. All the research. And absolutely, we're always happy to show you guys. I do see a couple questions. Let me get this one last question about the weather. So everybody, it is an outdoor program. It is spring. Beautiful weather outside the last couple days, lots of rain. As with any outdoor sport, we do have a protocol in place to check field conditions, rain forecast, even though it is very unpredictable. On weekends that it's going to rain on Friday and Saturday, I actually am typically out at the fields at 3 and 4 a.m. on Saturday or Sunday morning, checking the conditions of the field to make sure that we are good to go to play. That is in the case that it's already rained and no longer raining. If it is raining, we're monitoring the level of rain that we're receiving up to the weekend. We're working with the facility managers to make sure they're good to go, that everything's playable. If a field is playable, 9 times out of 10, we're going to play. The only way we wouldn't is if we get rained out. We provide the weather hotline in all of our emails. We just sent it out in the opening day emails that went out today and that are going out tonight. And we provide it in our future resources as well. Reach out to the league office if you have any questions as well. We'll try to get to that. But the number one way to check if we're playing that weekend due to rain is to check the weather hotline before you head to the field. Other than that, I want to make sure I answered everything. Because it is an outdoor program and we only have a finite number of weeks to play because we have another season starting afterwards, we book in to multiple rainouts just in case. Which is why we don't try to push it and make anybody play in heavy rain and stuff like that. Obviously, 1, that damages the field, but 2, it's a tough condition to play in. We will try to play in a light rain to get through the weeks. We want to make sure everybody gets all their weeks in, and we won't want to cut kids short of being able to play. I typically try to make the call early in the morning so that way we can let everybody know before they head to the field. But if we're really trying to get the games in, we'll try to push it as long as possible before we make that call. The latest we typically will make a call might be 6:37 in the morning. So that way we eliminate some of the staff going out there. But some of the county programs don't call their field conditions until 7 a.m., 7:30. So you might not get a message until 7:30, 7 a.m. But we do update the hotline. We send out a text to everybody, and we send out an email. Coach Dwayne, you have a question?
Oh, yes, just real quick. Good evening, everyone. I just wanted to ask, this is my first time coaching my daughter's 10 to 12-year-old basketball team. And I'm just trying to figure out how many players are on a team.
So in our senior group, we try to max it at 10 kids. So that way, if
Okay.
there is 10, you could do 5 subs on, 5 subs off.
Okay.
It makes it a lot easier. And because they're running the full court up and down, having the extra kids is typically helpful for the kids that are going to get tired out and get water breaks. But we try to cap all of our senior groups for senior basketball at 10 kids.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
No problem. No problem. And then Coach Justin Darkhawk or Darkhawk, is that what it is?
Sorry, did you say my name? I was with my kids.
Yes. No, you're good. You're good. You had your hand raised, so I want to make sure I answered your question if you had them.
I think I bumped it. I'm sorry.
No, all good. All good. Coach Nate,
For T-ball, will they have enough balls for every kid? I know you talked about basketball.
Yes, I know that was an issue in the past. We actually ordered a ton of baseballs. We have plenty of bags of baseballs where everybody should be able to have one for
Okay.
throwing partners in the outfield, and then at
Great.
least a few for hitting. If that becomes an issue, our site manager will let us know and we'll get more at the store, but we should be fine. Just coaches for baseball, please make sure your kids put the balls back so the next group can use them. That's typically the only time that we run out of baseballs is when they find legs and leave the venue sometimes.
Gotcha. I'm sure you provide a tee too, of course, right?
Yes. Yep. We will have a tee. All of them have been looked through and refined and made sure that they're good to go for the season with bolts and everything. So we shouldn't have any issues there. So you have the tee. We'll put the bases. We do have some extra emergency gloves. The only thing we ask is that the players bring their own gloves. But we provide everything else. We also provide helmets, bats, everything.
Perfect. Thank you. Sorry about that.
And then Coach Nate. No, you're all good. Coach Nate, you had a question?
Yeah. These kids are 5 and 6 and even younger. Are the balls hard baseballs?
No, they're all really, really soft, squishy balls. It's the squishy like skills for T-ball and coach pitch baseball.
Okay, cool. And I didn't know about the bats. So Facebook Marketplace, I picked up the bats like $20.
Hey, that's
Day, like in work, and I'm set 25, 26 bats. I don't know if we can't use them. Pairs if we can.
No,
cool.
you're fine. I'm sure the bats are great. Bring them with you. And that's absolutely great. We absolutely recommend that people. Yeah, those should be totally fine. So great. Love that. And your kids will be able to use that for a while. So awesome. I think there was,
I had put it in, but that was the question. So I'm
perfect.
Yeah.
Awesome. And then last question, and anybody, if I answered your questions, you feel good, you can hop off. I'm going to round out this last question. This is very specific, but I'm coaching. The 4 girls are on the team, have a conflict with the travel soccer game. They can make it to the game part, but will miss practice. Will there be a problem? I just signed coach. No. So Coach Lauren Cassidy, if you are not able to be there for practice, not a big deal. We'll have our staff there to jump in during practice. And then if you guys are able to get there for the game, great. If there's weeks where some of the team is missing or half the team is missing, we will make sure to pivot. We'll do a scrimmage. We'll borrow players from the other team. We do have protocols in place to make sure that's still a great experience for all the kids. So not a big deal. Just let us know what week that's going to be that you're going to be out. And then, Coach Dwayne, you got a question?
Yeah, just real quick. My daughter has a little friend who's also in her classroom. She wanted to sign up and play on the same basketball team. She did sign up a little late last week. And I don't think we got any feedback on that yet. So I just wanted to touch bases on that.
Yeah, we're still working through those requests. I'll have Nick take a note and we'll get into your account just to triple check that. But I can't guarantee anything because it's so late. Unless Nick, do you know if it's been awarded already?
I was just about to ask, Dwayne, can you put in the can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Nick.
All right, cool. Yeah, can you just go ahead and just drop the name?
Yeah, her name was Sophia.
Sophia. Okay. All right, cool.
Do you need a last name?
All right, cool. I'll check on it and then I'll shoot you an email.
Okay, yeah, because when her mom signed her up, she did put my daughter's name on her sheet when she signed up. Okay.
Got it.
Awesome.
Cool.
Awesome. Yeah, we'll look for that and try to get that taken care of. It is a little late, but we're going to do our best to make it happen. All right.
Got it. Thanks, guys.
All right. Awesome. Yeah, no problem. All right, guys. I really appreciate everybody being here. Nick and I will hang out for a couple minutes, but you guys are all welcome to go. Thanks for being here. Really excited about this weekend. Thank you all for stepping up to be a coach, and we're super excited to see you out there at the venues.
All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Yeah, Coach Nate.
Yeah, sorry, I'm not trying to
You're
monopolize.
good.
If I'm seeing like on, sporting goods websites, official T-ball, soft practice T-ball, they're like $6. Is that, if I was to buy a few, like, just so my son can play and that's about what he'd be playing with, right?
Yes. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, spot on. And you're welcome to bring your own equipment as well, like own baseballs or the squishy ones. We will obviously have those at the venue, but yeah, definitely would be great.
I was kind of thinking maybe I would just show up on Sunday and see what you guys have, and then maybe he and I would sporting goods and just make sure it's kind of the same thing.
Perfect.
Hard to tell. Some look like they're incredibly squishy.
Yeah. No, the ones we use, they're squishy, but they're still a rubber. It's a rubber ball basically.
like-
Like it's very rubbery in the middle.
Yeah.
But it's still like firm, plays like a baseball. So we really want to make sure the kids can catch. And obviously they're 3 to 6 years old. They're not winging the ball around and hitting people. So it's pretty safe. But yeah, definitely check it out on Sunday before you get anything, and then that way you can go. The brand is Skills for many of the baseballs that we get. I think we get them from one of the distributors that I9 uses, but those are the ones that we use typically.
Okay, great. I see Rawlings and I see one is just Wilson. Those are kind of
Those are some pretty big brands for baseball.
okay. Thank you so much. I think I'm good. I'm excited about this. I didn't think
Absolutely.
it'd be this way, but I'm excited. So
Awesome, Coach Nate. I really appreciate it. I'm excited to hear that. I know a couple of people said this has been very informative. I'm glad to hear that. This is the biggest one we've had yet. We're going to continue to make this a staple. And you guys are going to help us just continue to revamp these opportunities for future coaches. So thank you all for being here. We have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you on the weekend. All right, guys?
great. Thank you.